I need to know everything. Who in the what in the where. I need everything.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're here for Startup on the Blocks, and we're all excited. We got a pitch competition done last week, and that was pretty fantastic. And so we want to congratulate all our participants, and we look forward to working with them in the next few months and over the next year to help them grow their startup. So tonight, I kind of want to do a little refresh so all of our startups kind of know how to get involved with Startup on the Blocks and what we're offering and how they can leverage that to have some success. So Startup on the Blocks, we're basically trying to connect startups and founders, or even we try to actually attract, people who have ideas into the startup ecosystem. The ecosystem is very, very rich with resources. And so we want to make sure if you have an idea, we want to make sure you can, we get you connected with those resources and empower you to go out and search and find those resources. So welcome everybody that's here. I have a short presentation, but what I want everyone in the audience and out at Facebook, just to share your questions, and every question is a good question, and I'm open to answering them. And we also, if anybody in the audience, that if they feel free to post your question, but if you also have an answer to a question, feel free to share that as well. So let me get my screen shared here and get rolling through this. Let's come up. Yeah. So like I said, last week we had a pitch competition, and it was pretty fantastic, and we got some good feedback on it. But all the stuff we do, we have people that support the Startup on the Blocks and companies, but we also have some other founders that support our nonprofit in general. So basically, we want to give a big shout out to Innisfree Hotels. They sponsored both of the pitch competitions we had, like in December and last week. And Brian with the Gulf Coast Minority Chamber, he's been really instrumental in connecting us with folks. The Bantucola Chamber, is offering free memberships to the first place winners, and SBDC at University of West Florida has basically been with us since day one, and helping to move the thing forward. And Bantucola, the Black Business Directory, and Chris has been working really hard on that, and also he's been supporting our live streaming, and also offering premium listings for our pitch competition winners as well. Righty. So one of the things I follow is this idea of an inclusive startup ecosystem. That means we meet people where they are. So if you're at the idea stage, we want to work with you at that point. And as we want to help you develop that idea and help you learn the best practice to kind of like climb this pyramid all the way up to the top where you can actually, become investable. And so that's what we're doing. So we like the idea of growing your own ecosystem, and the way you grow your own ecosystem, grow the startups in the ecosystems. And a lot of the programs we had locally here were, connecting with founders, after they're already up and running. And so we want to refer you to those programs once you get to the point where you're ready for them. But we want to meet you where you are and help you formulate your idea and turn it into a product or service. And we want to get to the point where we can help you launch your startup as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt at anytime or chime in. And there's on the stage, there's some you can actually type your questions in there, and in the chat there. It's the best place. There's also a question and answer tab. You feel free to use that as well. So we've been busy with Startup on the Blocks. We've been having a event almost every week since we started. 37 events as of this event tonight. And feel free to, at the end of the event, if you're here, on Hopin, to kind of, give us feedback on how you feel. So 2-pitch competition, combination of like 37 applicants, and we've given out, $4,340. We've awarded that in prizes, and believe me, we're going to work hard to increase the dollar value of the pitch competition. So we started off with $2,000, but we're hoping to go to $5,000 and to $10,000, because we want to, encourage people to kind of get into the ecosystem. And so with the additional folks that participated in the pitch competition, we're actually inviting them to be portfolio companies as well. And so we also want, even if you're not one of our portfolio companies, but definitely if you're our portfolio company, we want you to let us know, if you click a link or something and have some success with it in our email that we send out every week, or if we, any success you have, please let us know so we can actually keep track of that. And that's our number one mission, is to help you get connected and help you get your MVP developed. And even once you get your MVP developed, we want to help you with all the marketing strategies and get you to the point where you're ready to scale and take on some seed capital to kind of move forward. Let's see. Yeah, congratulations again to these people, these founders that were in the pitch competition last week. We definitely want to give a big shout out to them all, even if they didn't win one of the first or second prizes. We're definitely excited about them. And so we had a diversity of folks participating in the Future Founders, like KuKua, that was at the idea stage. Jessica had did some research and promised, he was a little bit farther along in his idea. And so basically it was a nice variety of people, like John down there. He was, he's at the idea stage with that particular product as well. So it's kind of a mixture of people who had made some progress. Troy, with Dribbles, he's made some good progress, and we're going to work with him to get the help he needs to kind of move forward. And the Bungee Fitness thing with Mia, she's really excited, and we're definitely going to help her move forward and figure out how to scale her idea. Because the bottom line, it's all these ideas that people have. They take a lot of work. And if you're going to do a local business, it's going to take a lot of work. But it's not much different than that amount of work you do that as opposed to the amount of work you do to create something that scales. So we want you always to be looking to see how you can actually scale your service out to a lot of users. And so a startup is just a business that you want to design it where it can actually grow fast. Whereas most traditional small business, they're designed to grow, but not to grow at a rapid pace. Now, ultimately, to me, like an ideal thing, like this hopping platform that we're working on here, it launched last February 2020, and so it's basically a unicorn. So in less than a year, it's worth over almost $6 billion, and so that's some true fast growth. Now, we had some folks in our pilot cohort that we kicked off back in January, and we offered them opportunity to pitch and earn some money as well. So congratulations to Sabrina winning first place. But the idea is, so Sabrina has a established company, her and her husband, but they wanted a way to automate some of the process in their businesses, and they knew other companies in their same line of business needed that same solution, something to estimate a project. And so all you business owners out there that are doing traditional businesses, you always look for a way to solve a problem in your business and build a product or service that other business owners can use and pay you for. And Grover, he's been working on his product as well. Yeah, and so we did have some of our pilot cohort that weren't able to pitch before, because of issues in their families and travels and stuff. But we look forward to having them participate in our next pitch competition. So so it was a nice mixture of companies and talent, and so that's what we want to just keep going. Now, this our semifinalists and those are the people that were in our that were kind of new to the startup world, and so anybody that wasn't in our pilot cohort, we put them in this category. And so some of the folks that's been participating with us and attending our event, so we thought it would be nice if we actually invite them into our portfolio companies and let them take advantage of some of the support that we're offering in startups. So all you semifinalists out there, basically you need to stay engaged, stay in contact, and when we reach out to you, definitely respond, because we want to help you, turn your idea into MVP. So one of the things I noticed, in the pitch applications, we still have some people that are not too familiar with the startup ecosystem and what investors and mentors and everybody or these pitch competitions or these accelerator programs, all these different programs, they're looking for certain information. So when you put in your pitch application, I said, like we had it simple as we could, like 200 words, but you definitely need to make sure you cover certain things in that pitch. You can't, we don't know what your product or service is, so you have to kind of articulate it what it is. And so we trying to keep a low barrier for this. And our pitch competition actually for-profit companies, but every now and then a nonprofit sort of slips through the cracks there, but we try our best to screen them. But in our portfolio, the portfolio thing, we offer help to nonprofits as well to kind of help them move forward. So all you folks out there, we definitely appreciate you're putting in an application, and we want to reward you with support to turn your idea into an MVP. Alrighty, so what is Startup on the Blocks? And so uh, we pattern Startup on the Blocks after startup ecosystems across the country, and so we wanted to make sure you as a founder had an opportunity to meet other founders or other mentors, other developers, or and learn about resources that are available to you, and to share ideas and to bounce ideas off each other. And so that's what the networking session is for. It's where you get the most bang for the buck in meeting people and and getting new ideas. So you want to meet people, meet developers, meet mentors, meet people with services that can help you out, and connect with them and build those relationships, to move your startup forward. Yes, and so in the 7 to 8 o'clock hour, what we try to do is present information that methodologies that are proven. And so our number one thing is we follow the lean startup methodology, and we want you to learn that methodology and move forward with it. Our startup rocket platform, it sort of leads you through the idea and validation stage. And so you can just make sure you don't miss any steps for moving forward. The whole idea is for your to build your startup like a house, build it on a really strong foundation. Because if you leave stuff out at the early stage in your engagement with customers and your validation, your startup is going to crumble as you try to scale it and to move forward. But there is a lot of help in the ecosystem, a lot of help, and so we want to connect you with that help. And so, but in order to connect you with that help, we got to make you aware of it and bring it to your attention. And so just you have to come in with a mindset, and when you think about the startup ecosystem, is that you as a founder or a potential founder, you have an idea, but the minute you step into the ecosystem, whatever help you need is somewhere in the ecosystem. And so, and you just have to let folks know what you need. You have to share what you're doing, and you will get the help you need to move forward. And so all the major organizations, major companies, they provide support for startups. It's hard for people to realize that even a company like Gulf Power, they have corporate programs for startups. Cox Communication, they have programs for startup. AT&T, they have programs for startups. And so you just have to become aware of this stuff. And if your startup is working on something for social good, most major corporations, do support, founders who are doing social good products. And if you notice in the email I sent out, that you probably would have got it yesterday, I believe, for our weekly newsletter. A lot of those opportunities are in there were targeted for startups that are doing social good. And so you'll just be surprised at the help you can get, to kind of move you forward. Like Troy, he's in the ed tech. John and Jessica, they have a startup that's going through the G Beta program right now. They're in the ed tech. And so that's a real, a neat field. There's a lot of need, especially cultural type, ideas to connect with Black and brown students. And so, yeah, just realize, like with my startup, Cognitive Big Data, my strategy was totally to connect with big corporations. And so I've had the opportunity to work with IBM, British Petroleum, Avis Budget, and big companies over in Poland. But that was a strategy. You have to come up with a strategy, develop a strategy for your startup, and that's what the ideas about that. And so one of the challenges for people who are not familiar with the startup ecosystem, they don't think it's for them. So most people, startups use a lot of technology, but that's just to enable automation. But the people who come up with the ideas, those are everyday people. They're secretaries, they're janitors, they're just everyday people that they're people that bank, and they see the challenges the bank is having, and they come up with ideas to solve the problem. And there's, Mia is in the fitness business, and so she needs to kind of look at how other fitness startups are expanding and growing, and what strategies are using. And so that health technology. So she may be in the health technologies, and so it's just so many. You just have to be creative, and the way you be creative is you start building your team and pulling your team together to kind of move forward. So, but we want to put people out in front of you that are just like you, that started just where you started. So, and one of the things I like about the startupschool.org, in their early lessons, they address this problem of people not thinking that they don't fit the mold for these type opportunities. But you do, and that's what the message is there with getting in front of the architects. So I talked about the weekly networking, the quarterly pitch competitions, and so I can promise you I'm going to do my best to get those values up high. The money's out there, and I'm trying to connect with the sources to get it. And ultimately, what we're trying to do, we're trying to establish a track record. So when the big companies that are setting aside the funding, they they can look at us and see that we really are trying to support the economy and helping founders grow their startup. So yes, we got some resources, and I'll go over those on the next slide. And the KuKua Institute, which runs the Startup on the Blocks program, we have this thing called a Center for the Innovation Workforce, and we want our founders to have access to the technology and stuff that's going on in there, and also connecting with the students that are doing the projects and learn about all the AI tools and to kind of move forward. Any questions out there? I hope I'm not boring everyone. Yeah. So the resources for our portfolio companies. Now, I say resources for our portfolio companies, but honest to God, most of these resources are available to you even if you're not one of our portfolio companies. There are so many resources out there, and so as we're on this slide, the deal is that here in Northwest Florida, there's a startup ecosystem. And to be honest with you, I the way I looked at it, and I think I've said this before, is I look at take advantage of the resources that are available here, in Pensacola, Northwest Florida, the Southeast, and on and on. So like one example, of us trying to connect you to resources, there is a new effort, a regional effort to support minority startups. And so we want to make sure you get in that database, and when they start advertising what they're going to do to help you, we want you to be able to take advantage of that help as well. So let's just cut through the chase. So what we do is we have mentors, and we have a growing number of mentors. So if you're one of our portfolio companies, the first thing you want to do is you want to get yourself assigned to one of those mentors. So don't wait. Just keep asking. I was speaking to one of the companies, one of the founders, and she was saying that's what she needs. She needs a mentor to kind of help lead and guide her. And so Lean Time IO, we have the open source version of that, and so you don't have to worry about paying for that. But even for those of you who are interested in a tool like that, it only costs $5 per month. But for our portfolio companies, you don't have to pay anything to get access to it. But it's basically a startup project management tool, and it's called Lean Time IO, and it's really, really, really amazing. And so you can manage all your tasks, all your to-dos. You can manage your milestones and track, how well you making progress to those milestones. You can input, as many of your lean canvases as you want in the tool. You can do your lesson learns for each sprint or whatever thing project you do. It's just a really, really neat tool to kind of help keep you on track on what you're doing. Now, a startup rocket, we call it a startup framework, but it's actually just a guide that takes you through the idea stage, and where you trying to document what your idea is all about, and kind of validating what your idea about. It takes you through from the idea stage all the way to the MVP to kind of, and it has a list of tasks that you have to do. And so the key here is with the startup rocket is, if you document why why you're doing the startup, and all this documentation, and it's got all the resources, the links that kind of help you explain what this stuff is. It's got a resource library to kind of help you understand these terms if you don't understand them. And so that's what's neat about that. And it's just so it's your railroad track to keep you on track moving towards your MVP. And so I think some of our portfolio companies or founders, they didn't realize the significance of that. And so in working with us, we want to make sure you get through that idea and validation stage of your product, and then get to the point where you're actually building your MVP and funding it, and so on. So Spark XYZ, we use that platform as to host pitch applications, or you can use it to accelerate application. But you as a startup, you can actually build your profile on that site, and they have a list of applications from all over that accelerator programs, pitch competitions, and you can apply for those those programs. And they also have a bunch of freebies on that site too, where you can get access to some of those freebies, like free cloud servers, just so many different tools and stuff they have on there that you have access to. But we also a big fan of F6.S, and you'll see that in a later slide. And it's a similar slide, but Spark XYZ, it has a training library in there as well, so you can actually get access to that training library. And then for actually startup school and going through the lean startup methodology, the startupschool.org by Y Combinator, that is the go-to application for training, and so it's free, it's online, and it's the most comprehensive resource there is, for startup founders. So, and it's not complicated at all. So take advantage of that free resource that's out there. So what we hear, one of the things KuKua Institute does, we're connected with Goody Nation, and that's a nonprofit organization that has programs for nonprofits and for startup founders. It's kind of like an accountability type thing, but they connect you with so many resources, and they keep partnering with all things. So they have a Slack channel where you can actually get on that. So um, I'll make sure I put that in our next newsletter. It's called goodynation.org, and if you're a startup founder, you definitely should apply, to be in their program. And if you're a nonprofit, and they sort of target non-tech education nonprofits, but that's what they support, entities like that as well. They talked about the free and discounted services, and the free and discounted services. Yeah, I that's I don't know, if you build an MVP, you should have to pay for any hosting of their applications, because all the major cloud organizations, they give you free cloud credits to host your website, your web application, your cloud application. So it's just pretty fantastic. With the Center for Innovation Workforce, we have these labs, and we have software and tools, and so if you need to help with the AI for your startup, to implement that in your startup, that's what the purpose, that's what the resource for that is. And we have one of our developers. He's actually making really good progress on a no code tool. He's got the API, for our AI software that'll allow other developers to build no code applications, so that allow non-programmers to get access to AI with their data. And so starting this Saturday, we have office hours already from 1 to 3 on Saturdays, but we're going to open up our KuKua Institute, which is 300 North Rue Street here in Pensacola. And I got it there for 2 hours, but we'll expand it as needed. But if you are working on your startup and you're here in town, feel free to stop in and because one of the things that we want to do, and we noticed with COVID, it was a little bit harder for our founders to connect. All the accelerator programs that I have participated in, the neat thing was you got to interact with the founders every day, and you got to go out for dinner or beer or whatever, and do stuff together. And so we want to try to develop a community like that with our startup founders, because truly you can't if you can't connect and be around like people, to kind of keep your mood up. And when you run into challenges, you run into people that run into the same challenge, but you find out what they did to get past them. And so we just want to make sure we offer folks here the resources that are actually needed to move forward. And here's a kind of picture of what the Center for Innovation Workforce looks like. And so the startup lab, that's what I was just talking about. And the AI lab / data center, we have a bunch of folks that have volunteers to help with that. We have some AI software running in the data center, and we're using that as the source, that people can connect with that from all over the world. Right. Yeah, and so for the KuKua Institute, these are some of the folks that have really been helping us out and to help us move forward. So, and we actually and so as you as a founder, or you out there listening, just remember, like if you know other founders, people who have ideas, introduce them to us. Or if you know people, businesses that want to help out with the startup stuff, connect us with them. Or if you think you're, if you're working for a company, if you think they might be willing to donate or sponsor something, connect us to them. And so, and what I hope to get a, 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 a sheet like this that actually, like you see, generator down here, and so so we consider them as a partner, and we want to connect you to all of their programs, and we have Jonathan on occasionally, and so this summer. And I think the application should be open now. If you're at the idea stage, you can apply for the G Alpha program, but they also have they have more accelerator programs, all kind of programs than anybody I've seen. And so if you missed Jonathan's presentation, it may have been early last month or something, but look back through the Facebook videos or through the newsletters if you have them, and just see all the resources they have. And what I Outriver, they're really they host our AI data center stuff, so that's pretty neat as well. But all of these companies, Gulf Power, they have accelerator programs, and like for you nonprofits out there, the law enforcement and trust fund can help you with what you're doing as well. And so we support all these other folks, and they support us in what we're doing. I'm going to stop sharing that. So I'll take a minute here to see if if anybody has any questions or comments, and so we can answer them and get you going there. And I'm going to also show you some of the websites, and like Startup Rock and stuff like that. But I want to take a break here to see if anybody. So, like, has anybody been finding the newsletter useful with the links in there?
Yeah, we'll wait for questions. There hasn't really been anything on Facebook or in the chat or Q&A yet. So we definitely are looking to answer your burning questions about.
Especially if you're one of the companies that participated in the pitch competition. We definitely want, and if you have any comments or feedback from that, we look forward to that as well.
Comments should be flying away with that, because if you participate in the pitch competition, a whole lot of things were going on, seen and unseen. So I'd love to hear your experiences.
Yeah, and I can kind of go over a couple of things that I saw. I did send those the people that pitched. I did send them a link to their pitch, and basically during office hours, I can give you some feedback on that, and then also for the portfolio. The new people, I want to give them some feedback on their applications as well. I'm trying to figure out ways to kind of organize the newsletter, and sooner or later I'll get it all formatted and prettied up. But the main thing is, I just want to make sure you're aware of the programs. But those are not nowhere. Those not even a tenth of the programs that are out there to support.
People are loving the newsletter too. Carlos and Dr. Griffin have both stated that they're very helpful. Michael Johnson is saying, is the pitch competition every quarter?
Yes, for sure. We're a little bit late on this one we just did, but our goal is for every quarter, and it's also to try to get the amount increased as well.
As a comment, I have found the resources very helpful just from the startup school. In my first session, I was able to make 3 strong contacts that have been great in giving direction. So awesome Grover. We love your participation.
Yes, yes, that's fantastic. And the startup school, it's I don't think people realize because it's also a big community, and you can launch your idea. Have a community for when you actually launch your idea, and the and so you can get some feedback on your idea once you launch it. Yeah. And so
Dr. Griffin said the more you pitch, the more effective and knowledgeable you become. And as a performer, I can tell you, the more you get up there on stage and do it and sweat a little bit, that's that sweat equity everyone keeps talking about, getting up there and trying it again. So absolutely, we definitely concur with that, Dr. Griffin. Dr. Winborn says, if you work for KuKua Institute, can you pitch?
I would say the short answer is no, but we will be happy to refer you to other pitch competitions, and we don't want to make it appear that you're as a working with the KuKua Institute, you can use any of the resources we have. They're open to you to use. And so, and that's it. And if you have a startup, we'll help you with your startup. That's what we're here for, because we're really about helping everyone grow, and what they're doing. Yeah.
3 questions in the Q&A have been asked, and I just kind of want to bring these up because I think you're going to cover some of these questions. Carlos has a question that he wants to connect with you during business hours if he can't make the office hours. So are you available during that time?
Yeah. So typically what I do is trying to build a startup community. We have we want to use this application called Jam, and I'll send you out an invite to that. And let me see if I can. I'll try to pull it up here in a second, but let me.
And then the other 2 questions come from Troy, and he's saying all of this is kind of sobering and moving pretty fast. Is there ways he can set up meetings if he has questions? And his second question is, how can he get his portfolio started and done? And so I think you might have a lot of information that can help and assist with that.
Well, I think for Troy, I think he was on an email that I sent out that one of the number of the list of things that you needed to do is one of them was reply to me. As soon as you reply to me, I will, send you the link, the information you need to set up your company in Startup Rocket. We had a couple of our folks have already done, like Carlos, he's already did it, and one other person in the semifinalist that did it as well. And so we just, we're not just going to randomly send you out stuff. We want to make sure you are interested and are willing to work with it. And so this is another application I have on screen here that for our startup on the blocks. And so we'll invite all our mentors to this. And so with this piece of software is free, and you can have one-on-one video conversations. You can go in the common area, and other people can join you in the common area, you can chat, and so but it's actually supposed to be like tied to Slack, and I didn't realize that at first. So we also have a Slack channel for Startup on the Blocks, and I didn't realize you're supposed to use them in conjunction with each other, because on Slack you can do audio conversation, but this allows you to do video conversations, as well. And so so this is a tool. It's a lot simpler than Zoom and all these video chatting, but it's designed for founders and developers. Is kind of what it, so they can kind of connect. So some people responded to the invite, and I'll send. We got a couple of mentors on here that responded, and so this is a tool we can use. And it's just like Slack in the fact that this is for Startup on the Block, but like I also have one, for other groups like the KuKua Institute, as well. So that's the way that one goes. And then another tool we use to connect is Slack. So let me see, can I get that up and running? And I'll show you. I'll show you the Slack thing, but it's not even all the Slack things that I'm actually involved in. But I'll kind of give you an idea. Let's see, window, Slack, share. So let's say I was telling you about Goody Nation. Their Slack channel is called Intentionally Good, but here it is right here. But they have a channel for scalable tech startups, which is here. They have a channel for tech training programs, which KuKua Institute is under this one. So both of these channels, they have founders from all over the world. And so let's see. Yeah, this was one I was in over in Poland. And Poland, this is in Poland. This is my company one. And here's a program I participated in 2016. We have a KuKua Institute Slack channel, a DevOps for here in Pensacola. And let's see, Startup on the Blocks. And so we'll send out an invite to this one, and you can see some of our portfolio folks did register in that. And so for the Azure Cloud, you see this one's got 300 and a lot of people in it as well. But you can actually communicate with people in this one as well. I recommend you all get connected to this OHub Slack channel, because it's all about the future of work, startups, and jobs, and and everything. So you can see they got a lot of channels, capital, jobs and internships, especially college students and stuff like that.
There's a question from Patrick Rooney. We are talking about Slack here, which is basically like a Reddit subreddit, if you will, for businesses. So if that helps you kind of understand what a Slack is. But he has a question about what was the video chat app you were talking about before? It's
called Jam. And I think, Pat, I did send you an invite, but I'll send you another one. But it's called JAMM. Yeah, and yeah, so you definitely, it's right now it's free, so I like to get them early, when they're free. But it's a pretty powerful application. So I recently joined this one, and it's a kind of for Black professionals, and as you can see, it's got 11,000 people in it. So, you can interact with these people all day, every day. You can, if you're looking for something, you can kind of connect with them. And here's one for founders of color. Are you a founder of color? You can connect with these. So so don't get bogged down in all these resources, but they're there, if you need them. And so you're not alone, and I think that's the message with that. So real quick, let's see. So Pat, here's that application again. So you can, like this, Marcia, I can arrange a meeting with Marcia, and meet with her at a certain time. Let's see. Yeah. I can, start a chat, or whatever, send the message, to kind of move forward. But we as a startup community, we just need to be more connected and interacting. And a lot of times you can't be there in person, but if you're working on something, and that's what this one's for. If you're working on something, you can actually share your screen and share information and get the help real time on what you're working on. So let's go back to the Chrome tab here real quick. So the thing so all of the new semifinalists I just replied to me from the email I sent you yesterday to all the semifinalists, and so basically, it's broken up into sections. So you're going to make sure you do all this stuff about your idea and validate all this stuff about your idea, and then you're going to get into the market stuff, and learn, and you have to kind of do all this stuff. Because if you don't, if you're out here trying to create your thing and you haven't did all this market stuff and these customer personas, all of this stuff over here that you need to do is you're not going to have the basic for it if you don't do all this stuff over here in the validation. And so, so the idea is just to take you through all these stages of growth with your startup. And the deal is a lot of this. So just to me, you just start. If you only have a few minutes a day to work on it in a few minutes. But when you actually create this framework, it's gonna create a project and what a timeline to take you through it. But if you can't get through it in the timeline that it does, you can adjust it. But the main thing is it's the guide, it's the railroad tracks to get you through what you need to do. So it's a really powerful tool if you leverage it. Let's see what else we have here real quick. I'll show you Spark XYZ, really quick. So like I said before, it's got the e-learning on it. It's got where you can get help from that, and we do have the ability to load our stuff up on here too. But I haven't chosen to do that yet. And then all these open applications, that you can apply for. This is hard to believe that this accelerator program, and I keep getting emails on this one all the time, but equity free, I like that. Remote, so you stay right where you are, equity free, and they got all these benefits. Yeah, and so just on and on. So these are applications that you can apply for. Let's see. Yeah, and you can build your startup profile in here as well, and all that stuff will show up. And then when you apply for one of these applications, it makes your profile visible to the people in that application, and so your profile literally answers most of the questions that the applications have. So let's see. I guess I didn't share that. Let's see. Yeah, I apologize for that. I thought I had clicked the share button, but I didn't. But so yeah, so the e-learning I mentioned, the applications I mentioned earlier, the perks, all the perks that you can have access to. Yeah, so it's just a ton of stuff that's actually available to you. And see, it's not really necessary for me to let's see, does anybody want to see the I'll just show it to you since I got my thing here. I'll make sure I remember to hit share. I'll show you this one too while I'm here. So this one has been around a long time. So this is F6S, and so once you create, so it's got all the perks, all the benefits in categories here, and so so how would you like $25,000 in Amazon web hosting credits? You know, fill out your profile, your personal profile, your business profile. You know, email F6S. They'll send you the code to get this $25,000 in Amazon web hosting. It's got all the AI stuff on there, all the video stuff, and you know, why would you pay for web hosting and when you can actually get this free for a couple of years? Yeah, and yeah, so it's look here, Google hosting. Let me get to that screen. So let's see. Google $100,000 in web hosting. Yeah, and with this site, you literally just build up your personal profile. So you folks that participated in the pitch competition, you can put a link to your pitch, and that's part of your profile. You know, and you know, if you got links to your product or services, that's part of your profile. So it's you know, and if you build up your profile and you're working on something that's scalable, you can get these free credits for stuff. I didn't notice this this one with Google 400,000. So that's a lot of startup hosting. Yep. And so like somebody like Promise, who's got the bank shot thing, you know, he could actually, you know, host his whole application, video application on this site. And so Amazon even, you know, like you can apply and they will, you know, to have them build your MVP, because they have a show that they do online for building an MVP. And so it's just like, so you can apply. And Tia actually did apply for her thing. I'm not sure if she got any feedback from it yet, but I think BankShot would be a perfect candidate for that, you know, because, you know, they're doing it's a video application and it should be pretty straightforward to build. And let's see, I'll show you the last tab in the last minute we got that will show you. See, which one is it? Looking for the Lean Time IO one. There it is. Log in here. Yeah, and so we host this application in Microsoft Cloud, but it's the one I was telling you where you can have your project in here, and but anyway, so you can do all your to-dos and you can time the milestones if you want. If you got people working, and you can estimate the number of hours on your project, all your research that you do for your project, all the ideas you have, the retrospectives, once you do something, how did it work out, the reporting, and you can invite, you know, people to your project. So those are you know, some of the things we have for the startup. So, but you know, and our idea is that if you are out there, and even if you're not one of our local startups, and if we can help you, you know, we'll you know, don't be afraid to ask. So, any more questions out there?
Are there, Dr. Griffin asks, are there any startup support tools available to show new founders how to set up their business with Division of Corporations or Florida Department of State at sunbids.org?
Well, we don't necessarily do that here at the KuKua Institute, but we definitely can't, yeah, it's something you can ask about, and somebody knows how to do it, so but we appreciate it. And Jessica, I know she just formed her car cover cooperation, so we are excited about her new venture there. Congratulations. And that's one of our objectives, is to help folks launch their startup. Yes.
Yeah, that's all the questions that I see. But always feel free to chime in the chat of the stage or in the Q&A for our future presentations, and we will definitely try to get your questions answered or send you resources.
Yeah, and don't hesitate to reach out through text or Facebook, or you feel free to call me. But I think what we want to do is we want to the mentors and stuff can set up office hours as well. But we want you to engage with your mentors is what we want to do. I just got a text from one of the guy who ran a program, and he just sent me an okay that he's going to be on next month and to support, and his name is Tom, but he's a really good guy, and he doesn't play. So when we were running his with when I was in his program, he runs a tight ship. So it's pretty neat. But he's a good guy. He's from Africa, and and we also going to have a marketing guy come on. We just got to get him scheduled for today, and then we have another consultant that does the entrepreneurship operating system. He's going to come on. We have a lawyer that knows all about setting up the corporations and stuff like that. He's going to come on and do some legal stuff. We'll get them scheduled and get them in here. And what I'll do, there is a law 101 thing that I listened to last year, and I'll put the link to that in the newsletter, so people can go and watch that particular thing. And it was all about startups and law and everything. It was pretty amazing. All right, thank you all. I appreciate y'all bearing with me. I hope I didn't bore you too much, but we just want to make sure people understand, what we're trying to do and how they can help us and move forward. And we really appreciate all the engagement. We definitely thank Pat. Pat sets a good example. He doesn't always just get a free ticket. He gets a $20 ticket, and occasionally he does a booth. So yeah, we can use all the help, and the more financial help we get, the higher the pitch competitions can be. Thank you all, and we'll see y'all next week. We're looking forward to engaging with all our new startups throughout the week this weekend. So feel free to reach out. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, LJ. We'll see you later. You still there? All right. I was just saying thanks a lot. Yeah, I was just trying to. I didn't want to rush through that, but